Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gamey things. I'm back again today with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's pumped up Kickstarter is on Pact from Studio Midhall, who very kindly sponsored today's video. Now, Pact is set in the same world as Beast, which is an earlier release from Studio Midhall, which is a game that Jeff and I really enjoy. So this is set in the same world, but it is going to be a different style of game. So a few things to note. Number one, this is a prototype, so things that you see are definitely subject to change, including rules and components and icons and all of that good stuff. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to have all the links, everything that you need in the description below. And as per usual with my preview videos, this is not an official how to play. There is a lot that goes into this game. It has many different scenarios. I myself don't even have all of the components. I have enough to show you some of it for the purposes of this preview video. But just note that this is not an official how to play, okay? So I'm going to give you a general overview of how it works to help you figure out whether or not this could be a good fit for you. So without further ado, I say we dive right into the spooky hollow pact. As a scoundrel scorned for your misdeeds, you are bound by a pact thrust upon you. Through a mysterious benefactor, rumors of a bizarre artifact reach your eager ears, promising release from that which plagues you. Dim hope is better than none, so you set out to snatch the prize from its perilous resting place. Approaching the ruined town in fading twilight, you see others like you have heeded the call. But you are all oblivious to what festers in the mist-shrouded ruins. A vicious beast dwells here in the gloom, and it will do anything to keep what you seek. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's take an actual closer look at how the game works. And as I already mentioned, this is going to be a very general overview. I am not touching on all of the different gameplay mechanics. Like I said, there is a lot that goes into this game. So with that, let's get started. Now, to start, I say we take a look at the board. The board is made up of district cards. So you can see all of these different things are cards that are going to get laid out when you set up the game. And you don't know what they are. You're going to kind of shuffle them up and lay them out based on the setup. But what you will have is the village cards. You will have inner city, outskirts, and then there are going to be escape routes. And you're going to be slowly revealing different parts of this map as you explore. So it's all hidden to everybody as you kind of like start the game, and then as you explore, things are going to be uncovered. The game is technically for 1 to 4 players. However, in the version that I am going over, it is meant for 3. One person playing as the beast, the hunter with powerful curses and brutal attacks. So here we have our beast for today's example. In the final game, there are going to be many more different options for beasts. There are going to be many more different options for scoundrels as well. But our beast is Urgle, not to be confused with Urkel. Anyways, it's this really scary looking spider creature. Yuck. And 2 scoundrels, each with their own secret missions and hidden loyalties. So for the prototype that I have, we have Olga and Askel. To start, scoundrels will get 2 hidden agendas, which are secret goals that determine their strategy and their preferred escape route, which are at the top of the board. And the beast has primal urges. So this would be a primal urge for the beast. The beast has primal urges, which are optional personal goals, but mainly focuses on reclaiming the real cargo, and we'll get into cargo soon. Each side has unique powers and asymmetrical gameplay. It's not just a bigger monster situation. The beast plays differently from the scoundrels at every level. So this is a very asymmetrical style game. Even the scoundrels will play slightly different based on which one you choose. So to start, each player will choose a character and you will gain that character board. You will also get a handful of deed cards. So you're going to have a total of 6 deeds. These are essentially your action cards. You are also going to set up the 2 cargo cages. One with the real cargo and one with the fake cargo, basically just a rock. The catch? No one knows who picks which at the start, not even the beast. You're going to have rituals and remnants and terrain obstacles like fire and mist and broken bridges that are spread across the ruins, and those are shown with, as an example, here's one of the broken bridges. Already you're thrown into an uneasy situation where bluffing and uncertainty are completely baked in. The game ends only when both scoundrels are no longer in play. The game is played over a series of turns, and each turn consists of 3 phases. We have rituals, using stamina and spirits, and pleading, and then there's an end of turn cleanup. So let's take a closer look at these phases, starting with phase 1, rituals. The first thing that you're going to do is check and see if you have the most spirits on a ritual. So these are the rituals right up here. We have Warp, Vigor, Void, and Wrath. And throughout the game, you are going to be putting spirits out onto these different rituals. If you have the most spirit tokens on a ritual, you can trigger it right away. So this is an example of a ritual. This is Warp. Rituals are powerful effects. Scoundrels will resolve the top effect and the beast will resolve the bottom. So in this example, a scoundrel would resolve this, move 1 and gain 1 spirit, whereas the beast would resolve the bottom, move 1 and gain 2 spirits in any order. Rituals can give you movement boosts, heal stress, attack players, or force events to happen. And if you have the most on multiple rituals, you get to resolve all of them, and you will kind of choose which order you do that. Then we have phase 2, using stamina and spirits. During this phase, players may spend stamina and spirits to perform different actions. So these here are your spirit tokens, these here are your stamina. You may spend as many stamina or spirits as wanted and in any order. Stamina is your main currency, and you'll spend it to move, play deeds, use abilities, and interact with landmarks. So let's take a look at those deed cards. Deeds are multi-use cards. Scoundrels use the top action and beasts use the bottom. So as an example here, we have exhume. So you'll see there's 2 marks, which would show that you would need to use 2 stamina. Then for the top action for the scoundrels in any order, sneak 1 and scavenge. And for the beast, move 1, then choose a location. Each scoundrel nearby that location suffers 1 stress. Believe it or not, stress is bad. Sneak is a type of movement action that is going to only be useful for the scoundrels, where they're going to be able to move into different terrains that have things like mist without gaining stress. So if you see sneak, it's just a type of movement. To play a deed, you will slide the correct number of stamina tokens to the right on your player board. So once again with exhume, that's how that would work. Immediately resolve the effect on the card, then discard the card into the deed discard pile. You may only have 6 deeds in your hand by the end of your turn, and additional deeds must be discarded to the deed discard pile, as I just mentioned. You can also spend spirit tokens to place bets on rituals or unlock upgrades for your beast. To spend a spirit on a ritual, you'd place the spirit token on a ritual card. Spend as many spirits on as many rituals as you want. Once per turn, you may spend stamina or spirits to perform a landmark action. So this, as an example, would be a landmark area. This one for the explosion is tend the flames. Place or remove a flame on any location in your current district. Each player has unique abilities that cost stamina or spirits. The cost of an ability is shown beside it, and to play an ability, pay the correct number of stamina or spirits. So that is listed over here on your player board. So as an example on Askel, we have spend 1 stamina to run, move 1, then if you have 2 or less deeds, gain 1 spirit. Then we have phase 3, pleading, and then end of turn cleanup. Unused stamina converts into spirits. So in this example, I have 1 unused stamina, which would convert itself into a spirit. You can plead by discarding cards to gain more spirits. If you're on a shelter, which is this symbol right here, you can remove 1 stress token from your player board and place it back into the stress token bag. You're going to refresh your stamina bar and check if any conditions trigger, like death from too much stress or fire damage. So we would just reset that. and clean up back to your hand limit of 6. So that is the general flow of the game. Everybody's going to be taking turns, going through those different phases, moving around the board, kind of interacting with each other, interacting with the ritual, spending stamina, spirits, all of that good stuff. But let's talk about some of the key mechanics that drive the game and some important things that you'll need to know. A game of Hollow Pact uses 3 decks. We have Deeds, Remnants, and Curses. Both Scoundrels and the Beast use Deeds. Only Scoundrels will use Remnants, which is these cards right here. I need longer arms, while only the Beast will use Curses. So here's an example of a curse. We're all mad here, and once again, this is something only the Beast can use. This says, curse a scoundrel. At the end of your turn, give one of your stress to another scoundrel. Dark Pact. If another scoundrel dies by stress while you are carrying the cargo, you and the Beast win. So you can get cursed as a scoundrel with one of these curse cards, which could potentially change some stuff up for you. Then there's a Dispel. Another scoundrel discards 4 spirits to get rid of your curse. Then we have Remnants. So an example of a remnant here is the Pale Bard Loot. Each scoundrel on your location removes stress, so these are going to be some helpful items typically. And then we have Deeds, which we've already kind of talked about. This one is Despair. We've already looked at Exhume. A big part of this game is stress and sanity. Scoundrels start sane, but taking stress from things like mist, fire, or curses can push them to the limits of their sanity, perhaps even past the limits of their sanity. Going insane is going to flip your board, change your abilities, and increase your risk of dying. So on the back side of your scoundrel board, so here's Olga, Corpse Plunderer. And on Askel's other side, we have the Smuggler. So all of the boards are double-sided. Some hidden agendas require you to be sane or insane to complete them, so your mental state is crucial to your win condition. So actually, it might be a good time to look at these hidden agenda cards. So these are the 2 that Axel had. Disperse to the Shadows and the Way of Dreams. So let's look at the Way of Dreams because I like the way it looks. Sane objective. Have 6 spirits on a ritual. Reward, move any 2 spirits from one ritual to another. Then below is the insane objective. Place 2 spirits on a ritual where 2 other players already have spirits. Reward, move 2 spirits from any scoundrel from one ritual to another. So depending on where you are in your sanity is going to change what those hidden agendas might look like. And once again, these are hidden, so nobody else kind of knows what you're working on. As you play, you'll have opportunities to remove stress tokens. Once a total value of all stress tokens meets or falls below the back to sanity number, you'll flip your player board to the sane side and continue play. So you'll see here, back to sanity is 3. You can move from one location to the next by playing a card or using an ability that allows movement. Each movement effect includes a number next to the word move, indicating how many locations you can traverse. You can also shove other players and sneak, and I already kind of mentioned sneak. So as an example with Loom, move 1. So there's going to be move and then there's going to be a number. Same thing is going to be with sneak. If it's sneak, it will also be a number. Each set of areas has an associated schematic card which provides conditions scoundrels must meet to advance through the gates. These schematic cards start face down. So as you just saw, I had everything face down. I'm turning everything face up. For the purposes of the example, you'll turn a schematic card face up when a scoundrel or beast first enters an undiscovered district of an area. And each schematic card has different rules. So as an example, this one is the explosion. There's going to be a bunch of different ones that are going to have different kinds of setup, different rules. Gates, it's going to talk about what the landmarks will do. Okay, so the first one will be flipped up at the start of the game for the village because that is where we are starting. Another important thing to talk about is cargo and escape. You don't even know if you're carrying the real cargo unless you rest and check privately. Once you use rest, you may check your cargo. This information can be shared but may never be shown, which means you can lie. You could definitely lie. You can exchange cargo with another scoundrel in secret. Bluffing and lying is absolutely allowed. And remember, we're all trying to achieve some of our hidden agendas here, so that could play into that. Your goal as a scoundrel is to get to your preferred escape route carrying the real cargo and having completed your hidden agendas. If you're curious to know what is the scoundrel's preferred escape route, you can find that on the hidden agenda card. Now, if you'll see these two are different, and maybe we'll flip up these escape routes so that you can see. So here we have 3 for the boat and 3 for the shelter looking thing. Because these numbers are the same, you get to choose which one, but if they're different, you would go with the higher number of the 2 as your preferred escape route. Now the beast, on the other hand, will win by reclaiming the cargo, and they have nasty tools to do it, including curses. They can attack you, they can manipulate your movement and they can set fires and traps. The beast grows stronger over time by upgrading abilities using spirits. So here on the beast board, you'll see that they have upgrades. As an example, the first upgrade here is Deep Slumber. Nest costs 1 stamina less, which is one of their abilities, which allows them to gain 5 deeds. So they have a bunch of different things here, upgrades that they are going to be able to unlock, and the cost is going to be right in here. So this one will cost 2 spirits, 3 spirits, 2 spirits, 3 spirits. As a scoundrel, you can die and lose the game in one of 3 ways. You die at the end of your turn if your wound tokens equal or exceed your health. So both of our scoundrels currently have 4 health. As you go through the game, you are going to be gaining wounds. So if you equal or exceed your health, you die. If playing on the insane side of your player board, you will die immediately if the total value of all of your stress tokens equal or exceeds your insane number. So for Axel, that's right here, if you have 8 or more stress at the end of your turn, you die. You die when your preferred escape route is no longer available, trapping you with the beast. He's gonna eat ya. He's gonna eat ya. As for victory conditions for the scoundrels, we have a few different options, all of which, where is my board here, are laid out here on this board. So the first, we have a legendary feat. You escape through your preferred route with the real cargo and both agendas have been completed. Next, we have bitter survival. Escape without the cargo. You could do that. And then we have a straight up defeat. If you die or if your escape route is destroyed, you lose. So you can only win if you manage to escape, and it's going to be the difference between a legendary feat or bitter survival. For the beast, you have legendary revenge. You reclaim the real cargo, snatch it right up from the scoundrels, you snatch it right up. Or you have bitter aftermath. Cargo escapes, but at least one scoundrel dies. Defeat if both scoundrels escape successfully. The game ends when both scoundrels are no longer on the board, whether through death or escape. That is, once again, in a very general nutshell, how this game works. So your question now might be, Jamie, who the heck is this game for? Glad you asked. If you love games that mix social deduction, asymmetrical powers, high-stakes survival, and constant tension, Hollow Pact should be on your radar. It's dripping with atmosphere and pushes players to walk a fine line between cooperation and betrayal. Because remember, if you're getting cursed, that could change things up for you, or your hidden agendas can change things up for you with how helpful you might be to your other scoundrel. It could happen, I'm just saying. Lying is encouraged in this game, remember. It's especially good for groups that love bluffing, role-playing a little, and aren't afraid to stab their friends in the back if it means surviving. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Studio Midhall is creating a community expansion. So throughout the Kickstarter campaign, backers will be able to help shape that expansion by participating in an interactive story revealed through updates. So they will be presenting key choices and backers will vote on how the story unfolds. Their decision will directly impact the content mechanics and even characters for the expansion. And every backer of the campaign will receive this expansion for free. So it's kind of something that you're helping to create then you'll get to play it, which is pretty cool. You're also going to be the first to know that one of the most popular beasts from the original Beast game will be included in Hollow Pact, and it is Bolgan. And this time she will be even more fearful and gruesome. So my friends, if Hollow Pact sounds like it might be something that you are interested in, if you already love Beast and you love that world and you want more, definitely check this game out on Kickstarter. Like I said before, I will have all of the links, information, everything that you need to know is going to be in the description below. But my friends, that is everything that I have for you today. Now, if you're interested in buying board games like Beast from the same world and other games from Studio Midhall, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. For us, that's the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. And now, I say goodbye. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, you keep falling over, you silly goose. So let me just, whoops. I keep knocking the beast over. Because remember, if you're getting cursed, whoa.